Welcome to this session. Topic of this session is marketing policy. Actually, the agriculture marketing directly affects the income of the farmers producer, because the price realization or income realization depend on the marketing activity, how efficient is the market, how the in a fair manner the marketing activity is being done, and Government of India have started a number of the activity to improve the market functioning, market operations by bringing different program, by bringing different policy actions to improve the marketing functions, to regulate the marketing activities. And in this session basically we are going to discuss about the different programs, different policy actions taken by the governments, the Government of India, the state governments, to provide the fair marketing for the farmers producers, so that they have the good income, they have the better income out of the agriculture produce. So actually the agriculture scenario has undergone a sea change basically after the independence, and there are many factors which brought the changes in the marketing practices, like increase in the output of the agriculture commodities. Actually due to the increase in the agriculture production and due to the better production technology, the marketed surplus of the farmers is increasing over the period of time, because they are producing more now. And the another factor is due to the increase in the urbanization and income levels, actually that led to the change in the demand pattern of the farm produce, their derivatives, the population or particularly urban populations, they are demanding more of the fresh vegetables or milk or some nutritive value products. So there is a change in the demand pattern, and also change in the linkage with overseas market, particularly after the globalization and liberalization, the market practices or market prices are determined by the international market. And then there is also a change in the forms and degree of the government intervention. Actually government want to give the free market to the farmers, they want to have the less control on the marketing practices and at the same time they also want to regulate the market practices, so there is no malpractices in the market and farmers get the better prices. And actually when we talk about the agriculture marketing, we need to understand the framework under which agricultural produce market functions, and also we need to understand the factors which influence the farmers prices. And actually nowadays the role of marketing now start right from the decisions on what to produce, what variety of the produce to be produced, and how to prepare the product for marketing, like grading or standardization, rather than limiting when, where or to whom to sell. So the marketing is nowadays where to sell or when to sell, but it is also starting from the what type of the produce we should have on the farm, and what variety to be produced, and how to prepare the market, and how to prepare the product for the marketing. And actually various marketing policies were formulated time to time to make the agricultural marketing more efficient, to protect the interest of the producer as well as the consumer. And when we go in the 1926, the Government of India, they constituted a Royal Commission on the agriculture, and the Royal Commission in its report in 1928 recommended various activities for fair marketing in agriculture sectors, like they have recommended for regulation of the market practices, and then also they recommended for the establishment of the regulated market in the India. And these two recommendations were endorsed by the Central Banking Inquiry Committee in 1931, and the Office of the Agriculture Marketing Advisor, which we call as the Directorate of the Marketing and Inspection, was established in 1935 under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture that time, and basically this Directorate of Marketing and Inspection look after the problem of marketing of agriculture produce in India. Actually that time this directorate recommended to the state government that market be regulated to safeguard the interest of the producers and the farmers, to remove the prevalent malpractices in the market, because that time there was no control on the marketing activity. It was totally dependent on the traders, and there was a lot of malpractices were there. So in order to in the control to prevent this malpractices in the agriculture marketing, the directorate recommended to establish the regulated market. And in 1938, actually the Directorate of Marketing Inspection (DMI), they prepared a model bill on agricultural produce marketing, and that model bill was circulated among the states. And since then, the state governments have enacted legislation for the regulation of the marketing and their practice, because the marketing, agricultural marketing is the state subject. So the Directorate of Marketing Inspection, they prepared a model act and circulated to the the state government. So with proper modification as per their requirement, they can modify the model bill and they should enact that legislation in the state. So like Hyderabad Agriculture Marketing Produce Act in 1930, then Central Province Cotton Market Act 1932, then Madras Commercial Crop Market Act in 1935, and then the Agriculture Produce Marketing Act of Bombay, of Punjab, of Mysore in 1939, then Madhya Bharat in 1952, and then Odisha in 1957, then Rajasthan in 1961. So various states, they have brought the Agriculture Produce Marketing Amendment Act, and the Andhra Pradesh, they adopted the Madras Act, and Gujarat and Maharashtra, they basically inherited the Bombay Act, and the Delhi and Tripura, they passed legislation on the line of the Bombay Act, Model Act. And actually that time the DMI was also assigned the task for implementing the Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act 1937. Basically that was the landmark act to regulate the agricultural marketing, and DMI also given the responsibility to implement the Cold Storage Order 1980, and then Meat Food Product Order in 1973. Then the actually the Directorate of Marketing Inspection, actually it was actively associated in rendering assistance to the state government in providing the guidance and advices on the agricultural marketing, and actually they guide to frame the legislations and the implementation of the Agricultural Produce Market Act for bringing about the regulation of agricultural produce market in the different states. And the DMI also undertake the market research and survey and training of the market personnel, extension activity also there, and they publish various information and the literature on the agricultural marketing activity. Later the Inspection Director of the Ministry of Food was also merged with the Central Marketing Department, and the Directorate of Marketing Inspection function as a test office of the Ministry of Rural Development also, and basically the head office of the Directorate of Marketing Inspection is at the Faridabad in Haryana state, and the branch office it is having at the Nagpur in the Maharashtra. And basically they have the head office and the branch office at Nagpur. They have they have divided the work, and basically the head office at Hyderabad, they look after the administration of the Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act 1937, and then the various rules and related matters. Then also they do the administration of the Meat Food Product Order 1973, and then administration of the Cold Storage Order. And then they also undertake the market regulations, development and extension activities, and they also involve in the market planning and design for the better agriculture marketing. The branch office at the Nagpur is responsible for the market research and planning. They undertake the training program on agriculture marketing. They also have the livestock marketing sales, and they basically also have the centers for the market planning and design center in Nagpur. And basically based on the different committee recommendation, the regulation of agriculture marketing was started. And basically, when we talk about the traditional system of marketing of agriculture product, the producer seller, the farmers incurred a high marketing cost because there is no regulation. So in that there is a high marketing cost and there is a unauthorized deduction of the marketing charges in the name of the purity or some extra material. And there was in the traditional marketing there is a prevalence of various malpractices. And actually in order to improve the bargaining power of the producer seller, it is important to improve the marketing condition and creating fair competitive condition for the agricultural marketing. And actually that's why the regulated market were established in India. And the objective of the regulated market was to eliminate the unhealthy and unscrupulous practices in the agricultural market mandis and reduce the marketing charges and also provide the facilities to the producer seller in the market, providing the cleaning facility, providing the grading facility, providing the weighing facility, providing the electricity. So all type of facility is provided in the regulated market, to the producer seller. And basically when we talk about this establishment of regulated market, it is termed as any legislative measures designed to regulate the marketing of the agricultural produce in order to establish, improve and enforce standard marketing practices and changes. And actually the purpose of the agriculture markets to give the standard marketing practices to the farmers, so there is no the malpractices in the market. So basically in the regulated market, the farmers sell the produce in presence of the several buyers through open and competitive bidding. So there is open auction is there in the market and there are large number of the buyers is there. So and actually in the case of the regulated market, there is no binding on the part of the farmers to sell his produce or her produce in the regulated market yard. If he find the price is reasonably okay, then he can take the decision to sell the produce. If find the prices are not okay, he can take the decision not to sell in the market. And the basic philosophy of the regulated market is basically the elimination of the malpractices in the system. And basically this regulated market, they assign the dominating power to the farmers or their representative in the functioning of the market, in the decision of the market, and actually they can choose or whether to sell or not to sell the price offered by the market. And actually there are specific objectives of the regulated market. The foremost objective of the agriculture market or this regulated market is to prevent the exploitation of the farmers by overcoming the handicaps in the marketing of their products, whatever the shortcomings or the constraints were there, that constraints were removed in that regulated market. And actually this regulated market, they make the marketing system more effective and efficient so that the farmers may get better prices for their produce and goods, and goods are made available to the consumer at reasonable prices. Actually there is a lot of charges, or it actually makes sure the supply chain, and it eliminates the middleman in the process. So the farmers can realize the better prices, as well as the goods are also available to the consumer at the reasonable prices. And the another objective of the regulated market is to promote an orderly marketing of agricultural produce by improving the infrastructure facilities. So actually it provides the market yard, it provides the storage facility, and there is a quite good growth in the regulated market establishment. And actually the establishment of regulated market was started in the year 1930s, and actually the this program got implemented only after independence, and actually the number of regulated market was 236 in April 1951, which has increased to 5,776 in April 1986, and in March 2006 the number of regulated market become to 7,566. After that there is a slight reduction in the number of regulated market. In the March 2010 and 7,157 number of regulated market are there. Actually in 2010 some of the market were deregulated, or they have some of the markets merged with each other. So that's why the number has declined from 7,566 in 2006 to 7,156 in the 2010. And actually the around 98.5% of the wholesale markets are regulated. They are working under the the regulated market, and they are functioning under the regulated program of the agricultural marketing. And actually the different types of commodities are dealt by the regulated market, and basically the number of commodities dealt by the agricultural market or regulated market is varies from state to state, but basically they include almost all the important agricultural commodities such as the food grain, the oil seeds, and the fiber crops, the commercial crops, fruits and vegetables, forestry produce, and the livestock products. And the regulated market, basically they are categorized into 4 categories based on the income from the market fee, and actually the A class market is the market where the fee from the income from the market fee is between the 1.5 to 2.5 crore. The B class market is the market where the income from market fee is between the 0.75 crore to 1.5 crore, and C category market are those market where the income from market fee is 25 to 75 lakhs, and D class market are those market where income from the market fee is less than 25 lakhs. So there are 4 categories of the markets, regulated markets are there in India. Actually, for improvement of the agriculture marketing, a number of initiatives were taken by the government, and basically working groups were constituted for strengthening the agriculture marketing system and trade in the domestic marketing system. And in these working groups recommended various things to improve the agriculture marketing, and important recommendation from the working groups are basically on the marketing system improvement and creation of the conducive policy environment, and the strengthening of the marketing infrastructure and investment needs they have highlighted. And then this working groups they have highlighted the need of improving the market information system. Actually we can use the ICT for that purpose also, and the working groups also highlighted for the human resource development for agricultural marketing, and basically they have also highlighted on the promotion of the export and external trade, and they have basically recommended on the reorientation of the policy paradigm for agriculture marketing improvement. And there are various initiatives and the programs, institutes were established by the government, and marketing research and information network MARIN was one of the initiatives by the government of India, and it was launched in the March 2002, and objective is to disseminate price and market related information for the farmer to the farmers. And actually more than 3,200 markets are covered under this scheme, and more than 2,700 markets are reporting data at the AgriMarkNet portals which are operated by the DMI, and then more than 3,500 commodities and 2,000 varieties are covered under the this MARIN network. And actually this scheme, MARIN scheme, is implemented by the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection with technical support from the National Informatics Centers NIC, and actually the associations is there with the State Agriculture Marketing Board or directed of, or also the APMC or Marketeer. So basically purpose is to provide the latest information on the prices in arrival to the farmers or to the traders of the different markets. So more than 3,200 markets have been covered under this. Then construction of rural godowns, this was a major emphasis, and basically objective is to create scientific storage capacity and with allied facility in the rural areas, and the objective is to store the farm produce, the processed farm produce, the consumer articulate and agricultural input in the rural godowns. Then promotion of the grading, standardization, quality control in agriculture marketing, prevention of distressed sales through the pledge financing and market credit. Actually, when the farmers, they can store their produce and they can get the receipt, so they can apply for loan from the bank against that receipt. And to strengthen the agriculture market infrastructure in another objective of the construction of rural godown, and basically it encourage the private and cooperative sector to invest in the creation of storage facilities in the country. And under this scheme, basically subsidies provided on the capital cost of the rural godowns, and all members who are working in the agriculture sector, they are eligible for construction of rural godowns, like individual farmers, group of farmers or growers, partnership, proprietary firms, non-government organization, the companies, cooperatives, corporations, agriculture produce marketing committee, the marketing board, agro processing corporation, they can apply under this scheme. And cumulative subsidies which was provided under for the construction of rural godowns up to 31st March 2015. Some data is given here, and the figures is given in the lakh rupees. So total amount sanctioned till 31st March 2015 is about 2,51,673 lakhs rupees, and out of that 1,77,503 lakh rupees were released for construction of the rural godowns, and then so far the up to 31st March 2015, 35,240 the projects were implemented in the country, and the capacity created was 5 crores 54 lakhs and 52,807 tons capacity storing capacity have been created under the construction of rural godown scheme. And then different marketing reforms were brought, like Interministerial Task Force on Agriculture Marketing reforms were constituted, and they recommended about the amendment in the State APMC Act. They had recommended about the promotion of direct marketing and contract farming, and then development of the agriculture market in private and cooperative sectors also. So actually earlier, only the government market yards were there. Now they have recommended for the opening of the market yard by the private companies or the cooperative sectors, and they have recommended for the pledge financing also. Then they have recommended about the expansion of the future trading to cover the all agriculture market. Then they have recommended about the introduction of the negotiable warehouse receipts system. Then use of information technology to provide the market like extension services to the farmers. This was also one of the recommendations from the Inter-Ministerial Task Force on Agriculture Marketing reforms. And actually, based on that recommendation, the central government drafted a model act on agriculture marketing, and this model act and suggested reforms were discussed with the state government, and the state government were requested to complete the process of amendment in the APMC Act at the earliest possible. So actually, based on the model act which was created in the year 2002, state government were requested to process the amendment in the APMC Act. Then a small farmers agribusiness consortium was also established in the year 1994 to facilitate agribusiness venture by catalyzing private investment through the venture capital assistance scheme. And the function of the SFSC is basically is the promotion of development of small agribusiness through the venture capital assistance scheme and helping in the formation and growth of a farmers producers organization, farmers producers company, and this was the new concept brought in the India. And then the FSSC function is to improving the availability of working capital and availability of the business activity of this farmers producer organization through equity grant and credit guarantee fund scheme. Then this FSSC is also a nodal agency for implementation of the National Agriculture Market ENAM electronic trading platform. And recently in 2016 we have started the National Agriculture Market, and basically National Agriculture Market is basically a pan-India electronic trading platform which networks the existing APMC Mandi to create a unified national market for agriculture commodities. And in this basically ENAM 1.6 crore farmers so far registered to have a market activity through the ENAM, and around 1.28 lakh traders have also registered in this platform, and 1 lakh crore rupees business have been conducted through this ENAM platform, and more than 1,000 around 1,000 the market have been connected with the ENAM project. This data is on the 15th May 2020. And then the farmers producers organization, and basically the small and marginal farmers, they form the large section of the farming community, and they faces lot of problem in organizing the production and marketing activities. And these farmers basically they were allowed to form a organization in the form of the FPO, that is basically farmers producer organization. And basically a central sector scheme was started in the country, and target is to form the 10,000 farmers producer organization by the year 2023-24. And recent we have around 6,000 FU, the farmers producer organizations which have been already established in the country. The recently government of India, they have launched the Kisan Rath mobile app which facilitate farmers, the farmers producers organization and traders across India to search and contact the transport service provider for transporting the agriculture and the horticulture produce, because it has these small farmers or the farmers, they are not able to organize their transportation facility if they want to sell the produce in the market which is far away from them. So basically this app will help them in connecting them with the transport service provider and providing a wide range of trucks and tractor trolley, and also allow posting the requirement of part load as well as the full load. And basically this app interfaces with the major transport aggregator and allow individual transporter to register their vehicle and provide services to the farmers and trader. So objective basically is to provide the good transporting facility to the farmers if you want to sell their produce in far away from their production center. And now we can sum up the session that the agriculture marketing scenario is undergoing a sea change, and there are various defects were there in the traditional marketing system of agriculture. And the Directorate of Marketing Inspections was established in the year 1935, and the purpose is to regulate and control the agriculture marketing activity. And the regulation of agriculture marketing and practice of marketing were basically regulated by this the Directorate of Market Inspection. And then the country started setting up the regulated market in the country, and presently we have more than 7,100 regulated market in India, and various marketing reforms were adopted in the country which were implemented in the country. And we have established a number of institutions like DMI were there. Then we have started a scheme, the Marketing Research Information Network, to provide the marketing information to the farmers and trader. and then we have promoted the construction of rural godowns, and then we have established the small farmers agribusiness consortium. The purpose is to motivate the agribusiness organization by the small farmers, and then also we have started the e-marketing by establishing the National Agriculture Market (INAM), and now to help the small farmers, the concept of farmers producers organization were also started. It is being promoted by the government. With this, I thank you.